It's unsettling when others cross the line into flirtation with someone you deeply care for. It's a reminder of how little respect they hold for boundaries, leaving you to wonder whether they're truly aware of the discomfort they're causing. The constant subtlety of flirtation can feel like a silent invasion, as if someone is trying to stake a claim on something that's already beautifully yours. It brings with it an unspoken tension that's impossible to ignore. Flirtation can sometimes feel like a game, but the stakes are much higher when it involves someone you love. The lack of consideration for the emotional space you've carefully built together leaves a sour feeling in your heart. When someone flirts with you, it can seem like they are testing boundaries they have no right to push. It's not just an act of attention, it's a reflection of a lack of respect for the relationship you cherish. The uneasy feeling that surfaces when someone else flirts with your partner isn't just jealousy. It's the realization that they're taking liberties with something that should be protected, valued, and kept sacred. Flirtation can sting because it holds the subtle message that someone is trying to manipulate or alter a bond that is sacred to you. It doesn't just affect your partner, it chips away at your own sense of peace. When flirtation comes into the picture, the beauty of trust and loyalty can feel like it's at risk. It's more than just an unwanted attention. It's a violation of an unspoken pact. I can't help but feel a shift in the energy when people flirt with you, as though the connection we share is being pulled in a direction it wasn't meant to go. It's a subtle reminder of the chaos that can arise when boundaries aren't respected. Flirting can make everything feel uncertain. It's not about the attention itself, but about the questions it raises. What does it mean for the trust we've built? What does it say about how others see our bond? Every flirtatious glance toward someone you care about carries an invisible weight. It's a reminder of how fragile relationships can fall when external influences try to worm their way in. It's exhausting when people flirt with someone you love because you start to question whether they truly see the deep bond that exists, or if they're simply trying to play a role in something they'll never understand. There's something about flirtation that feels cheap when you know the depth of affection that exists between two people. It's like someone trying to cheapen something priceless by adding their unwanted influence. Flirting with your partner is a form of unspoken competition, a way of claiming something that is already yours. The discomfort it brings is a reminder that the line between respect and disregard can be thin. It's not the flirtation itself that bothers me, it's the disrespect it carries. People often don't realize how invasive it can be, especially when they're unaware of the bond you've worked so hard to cultivate. Flirtation feels like an unnecessary distraction, a force that threatens to disrupt the peace and trust that have been built over time. It makes me wonder why some people feel the need to sow seeds of uncertainty. When others flirt with you, I can't help but feel a little disrespected. It's not just about jealousy, it's about the boundaries we've set being disregarded, as if the connection we share is up for grabs. Every flirtatious gesture made towards someone you care for feels like a test, one that you know could fracture the calm and stability you've spent so long trying to build. Flirting isn't harmless when it begins to invade the quiet spaces of a relationship. It's a message that says, I don't respect the foundation you've worked hard to build. When people flirt with the one you love, it feels like an unwanted intrusion. It's as if they're trying to make a claim on something they don't understand, a bond that's far more complex than they could ever see. I can't stand when people flirt with you because it creates an unnecessary rift in the harmony we've built. It's not just about attraction, it's about respect, trust, and understanding. Flirtation can feel like an invisible shadow, always lurking when you least expect it. It shifts the energy and turns a space that was once safe into one that feels uncomfortable and uncertain. When someone flirts with you, it's as if they're testing boundaries they shouldn't be crossing. It doesn't just make me feel uneasy, it makes me question whether they understand what's truly important in a relationship. Flirting with someone who's already in a committed bond is a game that no one should play. It doesn't just betray the person in the relationship, it undermines the emotional safety that was once there. There's a certain discomfort when others flirt with your partner. It's not about insecurity, it's about the unwelcome attention that can potentially destabilize the sense of safety you've both built. It's not jealousy that I feel when people flirt with you. It's a deep discomfort, a realization that boundaries are being pushed where they shouldn't be. It's not a game, it's a violation of trust. Flirtation is an art of subtlety, but the damage it does is far from subtle. It can make you question everything you thought was solid and safe about the bond you share with someone. The moment someone flirts with someone I care about, it feels like an unnecessary threat. It's as if they're trying to inject their influence into something pure and unspoken, and that's never a good feeling. Flirtation can feel like an intrusion, not just on the relationship, but on the trust that has taken time to develop. It's a reminder that others don't always understand the boundaries you've set. Every flirtatious comment thrown your way feels like a challenge to the space we've created together. It's not a game, it's a moment that makes me question the sincerity of others' intentions. It's never easy to watch someone flirt with someone you love. It's like watching someone try to claim something that's already deeply rooted in affection, loyalty, and understanding. Flirtation is often disguised as harmless fun, but when it's directed at someone you care about, it feels like an unnecessary test. It's not about attraction, it's about the respect they have for what you've built. The thing with flirtation is that it doesn't just make you feel unsettled, it plants seeds of doubt about the respect others have for what you've worked so hard to nurture. Flirtation can feel like a game, but it's a game with high stakes when it comes to trust. It's not about jealousy. It's about whether others value what you've built together. Flirtation can feel like an attempt to shift the energy, to turn something comfortable and secure into something uncertain and fragile. It's not just about attention, it's about respect. When flirtation enters the picture, everything that was once stable begins to feel a little more unpredictable. It makes me question whether the peace we've found together can remain untouched. Flirting can feel like an interruption in the quiet rhythm of a relationship, an attempt to pull attention away from something steady and create unnecessary tension where there once was ease. Flirtation can sometimes make me feel like what we have is being undermined. It's not about competition. It's about ensuring that the respect between two people remains unshaken. There's something unsettling about flirtation because it brings uncertainty into something that should be peaceful. It isn't just about attraction, it's about showing respect for boundaries. Flirting might be innocent to some, but to me, it's a subtle reminder of how easily people can undermine a relationship with just a few words or gestures. The discomfort of flirtation isn't rooted in jealousy, but in the fear that trust could be easily shattered by something so simple yet so disruptive. When people flirt with you, it feels like they're testing the limits of something sacred. They don't understand that what they view as harmless might actually cause harm in ways they don't see. Flirting with someone you care about can make it feel like your emotional space is being trespassed upon. It's not about possessiveness, it's about maintaining the respect you deserve. It's a strange feeling when people flirt with you because it doesn't just affect the relationship, it shakes the sense of peace that you've worked so hard to create. Flirting isn't just about attraction, it's about respect, boundaries, and understanding what truly matters in relationships. When those things are ignored, it leaves a bitter taste behind. Flirtation feels like a subtle intrusion, a way of challenging the space, you've built with someone you care about. It's a reminder that not everyone respects the line between playful and inappropriate. Flirtation isn't harmless when it carries the potential to make someone feel uncomfortable in a bond they value deeply. It's a moment that can shift everything for the worse. It's difficult to see flirtation as anything but a disruption when it threatens to upset the balance and trust in a relationship that should be free from unnecessary distractions. When others flirt with your partner, it feels like a silent intrusion, a reminder that what's yours can always be challenged by someone who doesn't see the depth of the connection you share. Flirtation isn't just a harmless gesture, it can plant seeds of doubt and insecurity, creating emotional ripples that are hard to ignore.